Hey, I'm so excited. Happy Monday, everybody. If this is your first time joining me, I am Stacy Herrera and I am a sensuality midwife. I help women to enjoy, explore, and hear the wisdom of their own bodies. I also help them to create conscious relationships and live delicious lives. Hello, hello. Say hello if you're joining me live. Thank you for being here. Happy Monday. Today I'm going to be talking about dating. Specifically, I want to talk about how dating isn't rehab. It's not rehab. When I say dating isn't rehab, so often I have connected with women that are in the business of rehabilitating their partners. I have been that woman many times in my life. I have been in the business of rehabilitating someone in a relationship. I see it with my clients. I see it with my friends. It's very popular for us women to take on partnerships or partners as projects, I should say. So when you go into a relationship, one of the things that you should look for is to see if you are, are you seeking a love connection or are you just looking for someone to sponsor? And when I say sponsor, as in, how in Alcoholics Anonymous, every alcoholic has a sponsor, so someone that they can lean on, someone they can turn to when they're in crisis. So are you looking to be a partner or are you looking to sponsor a partner? And this is the thing, relationships are not designed to rehabilitate the emotionally wounded. Now, can you heal as a result of being in a relationship? Absolutely. Absolutely. And do relationships foster growth? Absolutely. But relationships are not rehabilitation. But so often as women, and I'm specifically speaking to women, and fellas, you might get something out of this too. But as women, I often see women looking for brokenness in a potential partner. And then they decide, or we decide, because I've done this, decide that we are strong enough, compassionate enough, woman enough to heal or love the person back to wholeness. But that is actually dysfunctional. It's dysfunctional. Again, not to say that you cannot support your partner when he or she is going through something. That is exactly what partnership is about. But your job is not to rehabilitate the person. So here are 3 signs that you are in a rehabilitation rather than a relationship. For number 1, damage control. If your partner is stuck in a pattern of anger, bitterness, or resentment, you will never get through to that person. So stop trying. And I'm talking about something that's on the front end of the relationship for the most part, unless it's been an ongoing pattern. But if the person is stuck in anger, bitterness, or resentment, it is very difficult to get through that. And if you feel like your job is to help nurse that person out of that state, you're not in a relationship, you're in a rehabilitation. So let me give you an example. I once was talking to, and I say talking to because we never got to a real dating or relationship phase, but I met this guy and he looked good on paper. He was handsome and he was gainfully employed and he was very well spoken. He dressed impeccably. He had great original thoughts and good dialogue, but he was stuck in the land of resentment with his mother. And when I tell you, if you are with a man who has anger, bitterness, or resentment toward his mama, he is not going to be able to connect with you, because those primary relationships widely shape the way that we engage and interact in our relationships. So if the person is stuck in that state, you are not going to be able to love him to wholeness. He has to work through that on his own. So anyways, back to that person, I wasn't able to stay in it. Like, I had once expressed, like, you know what, I really want to know you. And he could not really see through that. And that was okay. And so I let the relationship go. Like, it didn't go any further, because my job is not to rehabilitate the brokenhearted. My job is not to rehabilitate the person that can't be whole enough to be present, or can't even be focused or willing to heal their stuff. Like, you can't be the rehabilitator of another person. So that's the one thing. So if you're playing damage control to somebody's emotions, that's rehabilitation. Two, rescue. If you are always rescuing the person, and rescuing the person from fill in the blank. So if the person is always in dire need of money, advice, or direction, they're not looking for a relationship. They are looking for a rehabilitation counselor, and you do not need to have that job. There are professionals for that. So if that is something that shows up for you all the time, you keep attracting people that you need to rescue, you need to really reevaluate your own the signal that you're sending out, because again, that means that you're not looking to be a partner, you're looking to be a rehabilitator. So, and the third thing is settling. If you know where the person is, and they have likely told you where they are, what they want or what they don't want, and you continue to pursue, you are then an uninvited rehabilitation counselor, because you believe that if you stick around and demonstrate how different you are, or how not like the rest you are, that you'll change their mind. That's not your job. That's not your job. And if these are things that are showing up for you, and these are only three, there are lots of other examples of how we play rehab in our dating or our partnerships. These are just the three I'm talking about today. But if these are showing up for you, then for one, you need to have a real good look at yourself to see why you are vibrating at a frequency that's pulling those kinds of people in. I know for me, I am a natural nurturer. I do really well with that. I am really great at taking care of people. And consequently, that was something that was showing up for me when I was in my dating life. I was attracting people that had some brokenness about them. And it gave me an opportunity to do something that I was used to doing, which was trading duty for love. So if that is something that resonates with you, because that has been my experience, and that is something that I have spent a lot of time and a lot of money working through, not trading duty for love. It is not my job to rehabilitate another person. It's not my job to fix someone else. Hey, Teresa, it's not my job to fix somebody who has a wound or something that they need to heal. Now, it's a different experience. If that is your occupation, then you do that at work. But you do not need to be playing rehab counselor in your relationship. So I'm just going to recap if you're just joining me. There are three signs that might demonstrate that you are in a rehabilitation rather than a relationship. And for one is if you are playing damage control all the time. If you are constantly trying to get the person out of bitterness, anger, and resentment, particularly if that is a core wound of that person's, if it's something that has to do with their parents, you are fighting a battle that you'll never win. Two, if you always feel like you are rescuing the person, if the person is always in dire need of fill in the blank, whether it's advice, money, or direction, that person is looking for someone to rescue them and they are looking to be rehabilitated. That's not your job. And three, if you are settling, if the person has explicitly explained to you what they do or don't want in the relationship, and if that is not in alignment with what you desire, then, and you continue to stick around, then what you're doing is being an uninvited rehabilitation counselor, and the person will not change. Because this is the thing about change and shift, is the only time that people change, and everyone's capable of change, by the way. You know, we say that all the time. Some people think people don't change. No, people can change, but people only change when they are willing and when the reason that they're changing is about them. They cannot change for you. So there is nothing that you can do. No amount of love or nurturing or giving is going to shift another person. There's nothing like you, no matter how much of a healer you are, and as women we are designed to heal. If you are in my Sense and Sexability Society Facebook group, and if you're a woman and not in there, you should be. We have great conversations. But one of the things I talked about not long ago was how the ovum, or the egg, is actually designed to repair damaged and broken sperm. So at the moment of conception, before the egg multiplies, after a sperm has actually entered the egg, before it will begin to multiply, if the sperm is damaged or defective, the egg will go to work trying to fix it. And so as women, we are almost predisposed to trying to heal and fix and repair people. But if that's a pattern that's showing up in your life, you need to do your own work, because that is not your job. You are not here to rehabilitate another person. You want to be a catalyst for inspiration, and you want to in help the person and hold space. But if you are doing damage control, rescuing, or settling, it is time for you to do some introspection and heal what needs to be healed for you, so that you can actually attract the kind of person who can actually hold space for you. So that's all I had to say today. Thank you so much for joining me live. I appreciate you. For more insights and tips, I invite you to join my newsletter, which is at staceyherrera.com. So you can sign up. I give some really great, some of my best actually writing comes through in my newsletter. And if you're looking for a free resource and a place to commune, a space where you can have sisterhood, girlfriend chats, I invite you to join my free Facebook group, the Sex and Sensibility Society, which is just for women. So sorry, fellas, but we have really great, transparent, beautiful sisterhood chats there. I'm so proud of that community. So I invite you to join that too. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, bye.